I'm now going to show you how to thread the machine. We're going to start off by winding the bobbin and then I'll thread the rest of the machine up. So the thread goes on here and we've got a little stopper on this machine so that the thread doesn't fall off. Some machines you've got an upright stem, so this is just a different type. And then we're going to wrap it round this little screw and it's going in between those washers. So you've got to make sure that's really caught through there. And then I'm going to wrap it round the back of that and wrap clockwise round, giving it a few head start turns and then pushing that and the stem all the way over. And then if we press down on the foot pedal, just cut that a little extra bit off, it will wind. Always check to see that it is winding. Every so often it can get caught underneath and start winding onto the stem. So just check that it's going in the right place and it will evenly thread that up. What it will do as well is it will actually stop from getting too big. When it gets close to this white thing here on the machine, that stops it from filling up too much, so you can't go wrong. So it's starting to slow down a little bit now, and there you go, it can't go round anymore because it's too full. So I'm now going to cut it. Doesn't matter where you cut it, just separate the two and then push that back and lift off. Then we're going to put the bobbin in the bobbin case. Now this is a top loading bobbin where the case is fixed into the machine. You might have a machine where the case comes out and you put the bobbin in and then that goes back into the machine. So for these types of machines, what we're going to do is hold up the bobbin, and if it makes a letter P, so this is the stem of the P dangling down, that means it will go in the right way. And then we drop that in, and then there's a little groove at just after 6 o'clock there, and I'm going to pull it into that groove and then pull it round to the left, and that's the tension system for the bobbins. It's really important that you get those two steps. That's the bobbin done, and now we'll do the top thread. I'm going to take it off this little washer. One of the most common mistakes is to leave it on there, but that's only for winding the bobbin. And then my machine's got a numbering system, but they generally all work in the same way. So we're going to go behind this white tab, down this first groove, that's number 1. Number 2, the arrow takes us back up through the second groove, so I'm going back up there. And number 3 is through what I call the rabbit, because if you look at it from the side, it's like a floppy ear and a little eye. So what we're going to do is go round the rabbit's ear and pull through its eye. And then we're going back behind number 4, which is a little bar that comes across. And the little hook at the top of the needle is also one that gets forgotten, so make sure you don't forget that. Okay, so I'm going to cut that thread so there's no wispy bits on the end, and then I'm going to hold it nice and close to the end. If you hold it up here, when you go to thread it, it's going to buckle back on itself. So hold it nice and close to the end, and then I use my finger to show myself where the eye is, because there's a lot of reflective metal there, and then I move it out the way once I'm about to thread it. So it's going through front to back, and there we have that threaded. And the last step is to pull this thread of the bobbin up through the underside of the presser foot, so both threads are on top for sewing. So what you do is you hold on to the top thread and you wind the wheel towards you, so the needle's going to go all the way down, and you'll see in a minute, can you see you've got the top thread coming round and lassoing that bottom thread and catching it, and I'm gently tugging as I'm turning the hand wheel, and there I've lifted up this loop, which is the bottom thread, and then I just pull that through, and then I have both threads now on top. You tuck them both underneath the presser foot, and you can cut the excess off on the little cutter. I'm going to now put the little trapdoor back on, and that's ready for sewing.